The flame breathing is one of the most powerful breaths in the series and a personal favorite of mine. In this video, we'll be going over the history, known users, how it relates to the sun breathing, and its connection with the Rengoku family. Before we get into the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel as I do a lot of Demon Slayer content on this channel. Flame breathing is a breathing style that copies flames and replicates it with the user's movements, techniques, and abilities. Most, if not all, known techniques and forms involve extremely powerful singular strikes and movements that are so intense that it burns the opponents. Users that have mastered the flame breathing visualize themselves seemingly creating and manipulating fire when unleashing these techniques. The flame breathing is a breathing that has been developed by the great ancestors of the Rengoku family. Long ago, when Yurichi, the godfather of the Demon Slayer, was trying to teach the Demon Slayers about the breath of the sun, none of them were able to learn and master the breath. So Yurichi did what any good teacher would do and worked with their strengths and basically taught each of his students their own version of the sun breathing, thus the flame breathing being born, and it was mastered by the great ancestor of the Rengoku family. It is also important to mention that the Rengoku household were always held with a great esteem and respect within the Demon Slayer Corps, as seen with the title of the Flame Hashira being passed down within the Rengoku family. Although the title of the Flame Hashira has been passed down within the Rengoku family generationally, the breathing style is not only reserved for those who have the last name of Rengoku. Known users of the flame breathing include both the former Flame Hashiras, Kyojuro and Shinjiro Rengoku, and the love Hashira, Misuri Kanrochi, in which I will go over in more detail explaining the love breathing and how it is a style derived from the flame breathing. The techniques in which we will talk about in a little bit later were way too intense for Misuri, so she came up with her own style, dubbing it the love breathing. Although Shinjiro, the father of Kyojuro, was not a fan of the breath style, telling Kyojuro he will never amount to anything because no matter how hard he worked, he will always fall short compared to the original breath, the breath of the sun. But of course, that was not true, and Kyojuro did not listen to his father. Instead, he worked hard at mastering the breath and rose all the way up to the rank of Hashira status. During the fight between Kyojuro and Akasa is where we see the breath in action, and man, was it absolutely breathtaking. There are a total of 9 known techniques, with the final and the most powerful technique called Rengoku, and that being an exclusive to the Rengoku family. Although there are 9 techniques, we've only seen 6 of those techniques displayed by Kyojuro. The techniques are basically all, like I said before, a singular swing of the blade, meaning that there are no combos, but even that said, they are all very powerful attacks. In the fight against Akasa, Kyojuro was at a disadvantage from the very moment that Akasa arrived, because Akasa was the worst opponent he could have faced, as seen with Akasa using combos. Now let's talk about all the forms. The first form is called Unknown Fire. The user basically charged at high speed into their opponents and decapitates them in one slash. We see this attack used when Kyojuro took out the demon that was at the back of the train. The second form is called Rising Scorching Sun. In this form, the user attacks the opponent with an arching slash attack upwards, and we also see this attack used by Kyojuro in the train. The third form is called Blazing Universe. Quick side note, how cool are these names? With this move, the user swings their blade downwards in an arc. This was the first move that Kyojuro used in his battle against Akasa, meaning that this is definitely one of the very powerful attacks, as are all the ones from on here. The fourth form is called Blooming Flame Inhalation. Basically, the user swings their blade in a circular motion that can defend them from all incoming attacks or decapitate multiple enemies at once. Kyojuro basically used this form to use as a defensive shield against Akasa. The fifth form is called Flame Tiger, in which the user unleashes a powerful series of sword slashes that seemingly takes the form of a rampaging tiger that is completely engulfed in flames that charges towards the enemy at a blinding speed. And finally, the ninth form is called Rengoku, which is by far the strongest attack. This form is a devastating dashing slash that the user initiates from a high stance. The technique had enough power to carve a deep impression that burnt the ground where it was unleashed. This is definitely a series that I am willing to actually go through with, as I am really fascinated with each breath style. So definitely subscribe to the channel if you have enjoyed this video, and also to not miss any upcoming videos. That being said, until next time.